Okay, today we're going to talk about scripture marking. Um, it seems to be something that, especially in the LDS culture, is very, very big. Why? Because it helps you remember what you've learned. It helps you personalize your scriptures, and as you reread the scriptures, those markings become very important. You can see and find things quite well. One thing is, though, when you're marking the scriptures, you need to try to be consistent. And I have to say, though, I don't really have one way I use markings myself. So when I'm telling you these things, it's because I know there's a good way to do it. But I have my own way that I've grown up with. And when I first grew up, we used to have just a red pencil. Now you've got all different colors usually. When I was using just a red pencil, if I had a lot of text, I might just put a red mark down the side like that. And then if I had certain parts in that text that I wanted to highlight, I'd put a highlight like that, or I can't do it with this, but I'd lightly color the whole thing in and then underline certain aspects as well. Okay, so, but be consistent, whichever you start to do, use it, at least with this, whichever scriptures you're using. If it's paper scriptures, use that, or if it's on digital, use that. Use notes to personalize your scriptures. If it's paper scriptures, you can write in the columns or at the bottom of the page. This helps you remember what you're learning. You might have learned something in class or something, and you want to take a note of that. Make sure you do that. And then there's the fact that you can use different colors. Different colors helps things stand out. Use it to represent different topics. Now, I've got an example. These are the colors that we have in the digital scriptures you get on your phone or iPad or whatever. Red, yellow, orange, green, blue, navy, purple, pink, brown, gray. That's the way they are. I put some things that I might use in here. Red for the atonement, orange for God's promises, yellow for general underlining, green for our promises to God, blue for spiritual gifts, seminary, navy for seminary scriptures, and purple for this we see. I left pink, brown, and gray because that way you've got a chance to expand it if you want on certain topics that you would want to do, or special times when you want to change something. For instance, pink, brown, and gray might mean faith, hope, and charity. You might decide to do scriptures just on those. So I left some open. Now there's some examples. That's not what I wanted to start, of some scriptures. Now, as you see here, I circled the text. This is one person's way. They had red, green, blue, yellow, and purple. As you see, they used an idea that was easy to remember, red being a stop sign, so it's things you shouldn't do. Green, go, things we should do. Blue, the blessings when we do those things. Yellow, things to do with Christ. And purple, things to work on. That's one person's, another person's way of doing their scriptures. Is you see how they've done it, and you can go through and you can pull those things out. you can see how it reminds them how the scripture is written, where we see things specifically on Christ or on what they need to work on. So there's a lot of things that they have there. You even see a little note up there. I can't read it, but you see how they've put a little note, a word that helps them out. Putting what you're going to do is important in the somewhere where you can find it. If it's scriptures, paper scriptures. This person here put their notes on the front page, on the first page, so they can always refer to it. As you see, red here is the atonement. Much like when kind of like what I've done. And if you notice that these are not highlighter pens, but highlighter tape. You can get that from shops. If you feel like it, you can pause this and see if you can figure out what colors they're using for what in this verse. It might be a fun thing to try. But you can see how all the colors, there's lots of colors if you do it this way. I personally don't use that much color and in that way. But it's something to think how to do it. Notice they also, I'm not even sure how they did this, have numbers here, and they've numbered it. Obviously, as a list. Anyway, so that's something to think about on those. One thing I'm not that keen on, but you can do too, is put scripture stickers in. You can buy them if you want. And if you're really feeling creative, you can do your own pictures with a light marking pencil. But if you do, don't doodle. Don't make it into a doodle thing. These are scriptures. They should be treated with a lot of respect. So don't doodle. But like you can see, like this is a picture of Christ coming down to the Nephites. You know, it's 3 Nephi 11 when you see that. That's the sort of thing that they're for. You flip through the scripture, see that, and before you even read the text, you know what the story is. So this is about the story, not as much about the doctrine and things that the other highlighting can do, but it does limit where you can highlight in the scripture as well. Okay, most important thing, make the scriptures your own. That's the important thing. These are things that you should be reading constantly, and the more you make them your own, the more you'll love them, and the more you'll cherish what you've got. Thank you.